Everyone, welcome back to a new post today. Let's continue with the most important issues that you need to keep track for the UPSC upcoming Civil Services Prelim examination of 2025, and this is with regard to August 22nd. So the very first thing is about a new mechanism now to gather crop data, India being an agriculture country. So the center and the state is discussing a new mechanism to gather the crop data, and ahead of the implementation of something new that is called as the Digital General Crop Estimation Survey, the center has convened a national conference with the states to discuss improvement in crop production and the statistics now. So what exactly is the Digital General Crop Estimation Survey? Now the Digital General Crop Estimation Survey is an initiative of the government aimed at leveraging the digital technology to improve accuracy and efficiency of crop estimation and agriculture data collection. It is a nationwide initiative which will precisely assess the crop yields across a variety of crops grown in the country. It will also provide plot level data with geotagged areas of the crops and act as a single source of truth. This is what the center says. This survey has been initiated to calculate yield-based, scientifically designed crop cutting experiments for all the major crops across the country. And these initiatives are expected to provide near real-time and reliable data directly from the field, which enables more precise estimations of crop production. So the UPAG, or the Unified Portal for Agriculture Statistics, is a platform which provides near real-time information on the agriculture sector. It aims to streamline the data management, improve accuracy and enhance digital data governance in the agriculture sector. By providing real-time, reliable and standardized information, the portal can help the farmers and policymakers along with the researchers and stakeholders to make informed decisions. And the next is about the National Disaster Management Authority has identified 189 high-risk glacial lakes in the Indian Himalayas. Let me tell you, recently because of the glacial lake flood, the Sikkim was affected as well as Uttaranchal, and this has been launched with a 150 crore program for mitigation, including monitoring and early warning system, therefore strengthening the disaster management in the hilly areas which are prone to the glacial lake outburst floods. The center has approved a 150 crore National Glacial Lake Outburst Flood Risk Mitigation Program, and this program is aimed at detailed technical hazard assessment, installing automated weather and water level monitoring stations, early warning systems at the lakes and in the downstream areas. The primary objective of the program is to attempt a lake lowering measure to reduce the risk of the GLOF, or the Glacial Lake Outburst Flood. Now, depending on the state of the glacial lake is to be found, a range of mitigation measures are to be taken. Now, this composite expedition is assessing structural stability and potential breach points of the glacial lakes, gathering relevant hydrological and geological samples along with the data, measuring water quality, flow rates, identifying the risk zones, and making the downstream communities aware. So what exactly is a glacial lake outburst flood? Now, it is a type of an outburst flood that is caused by the failure of a dam containing a glacial lake, or even a natural glacial lake, which is a deposition lake caused by the melting of the glaciers and the ice caps in the upper layers, that is in the upper areas which are unreachable. A similar event is where a water body contained by glacial melts or overflow of the glacier is called as the Jokul Hop. So this dam consists of a glacier ice, or a terminal moraine. Failure can happen due to erosion, a built-up of water pressure, an avalanche of rock or heavy snow, an earthquake or a cryoseism, volcanic eruptions under the ice, and massive displacement of the water in the glacial lake where a large portion of an adjacent glacier collapses into it. Now, increasing glacial melting is happening because of climate change due to global warming, alongside other environmental effects of climate change like permafrost melting, meaning that the regions with the glaciers are likely to see an increase in the flooding risk. And this is especially true even of the Himalayas in India as well. A 2023 study found out 15 million people at the risk from the hazard of these glacial lake outburst floods in China, India, Pakistan and Peru as well in the Andes. So now Center released new norms for the seaplane operations. A seaplane can land and take off from the sea. The Union Civil Aviation Minister, under whom the seaplane operations come under governance, has released the guidelines for the seaplane operations, simplifying the regulations of such operations in the country. Now these guidelines are not only going to integrate the seaplane operations into the Indian aviation landscape for transportation, but it will also create jobs for fostering economic empowerment, making the seaplanes a symbol of country's innovation and commitment to inclusive development. India had seaplane operations in Andaman and Nicobar Islands as well as Gujarat, but they couldn't sustain for a very long time. Meanwhile, the government plans to set up water aerodromes at 18 places spread across the coastal areas, and especially Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Lakshadweep, Goa, Assam, Andhra Pradesh and Himachal Pradesh. The new guidelines allow non-scheduled entities to operate such services and put in place a signified certification system. The relaxed norms are now encouraging seaplane operations under the RCS, that is the Regional Connectivity Scheme, also called as UDAN, that is Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik. Seaplanes can take off and land even on the sea, and this is they need a waterdrome license, and compliance requirements have been reduced for this. Waterdromes are for landing and taking off of seaplanes. So these are some, and the recent list of Indian space mission, because August 23rd is the first National Space Day celebrated by the Government of India. Chandrayaan-3, which was launched in 2003, it led to successful landing of the Vikram lander, and it is declared as India's National Space Day on August 23rd, the landing day of Vikram lander. Aditya L1, a solar science mission to study the sun, has reached the Lagrange point on 2024, and it also studied the solar storms, which protect where the Earth's magnetic field protects us from these solar storms, and it was launched in 2023. And Gaganyaan TV-D1, the first abort mission for Gaganyaan program, tested the crew escape system module covered by the INS Shakti. It was launched in October 2023. EXPOSAT, X-ray polarimeter satellite to study radiation polarization, second such space observatory after NASA's IPEX, launched in January 2024. INSAT 3DS, it is a meteorological satellite launched by GSLV. Credibility for NISAR mission enhances weather forecasting capabilities, launched in February 2024. And RLV-TD Pushpak, the reusable launch vehicle, as a test conducted simulated landing conditions for future orbital return flight. It was launched in March and June 2024. SSLV, the small satellite launch vehicle, successfully placed the Earth Observation Satellite 08 and SR Demosat in orbit in August 2024. ISRO roadmaps, a 25-year roadmap until 2047. It plans to crew lunar missions, sample return missions, and Bharatiya Antariksh Station to be built by 2025. It was announced in December 2023. And the next generation launch vehicle, NGLV, it is a 3-stage launch vehicle development to replace the Geostrategic Launch Vehicle, or GSLV, and it is powered by semi-cryogenic liquid cryogenic engines. The project report is submitted to the Union Cabinet, and it has not been launched. The NSIL mission agreement with SpaceX and GSAT launched the SSLV service mission with the Australian company. Private space missions include Agni-Cool Cosmos, launched the Sortido, first semi-cryogenic engine vehicle from Indian soil. Skyroot Dhruva Space progressing with test and launches, and in-space initiatives released the norms and guidelines for procedures and authorization of the space activities. Granted first satellite broadcast license to Utelesat and on OneWeb, and the first ground station service license to Dhruva Space. And now there is 100% FDI policy in the space sector, and space sector has been opened up to the private sector as well. These are some of the important points that I wanted to discuss with you with regard to August 22nd. If you did like, please do like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to comment at the end of the video. I shall see you in today evening's post for the polity and governance for the week. Until then, it's very happy learning.